Greetings, I'm Zach, and today I'm here to unpack another box of Star Wars figures for you. Now, to give a bit of context to this, I've obviously begun growing my Star Wars figure and ship collection. So consider that a tiny bit of a tease for future videos. But today I have a box of moderately old, I'll say vintage because they're not created anymore. They are retro Star Wars figures that came out in like the 90s, if I believe that is correct. Further to my previous video exploring some of the Power of the Force figures that I received, I got a really good deal on some more in this box behind me from eBay that cost the grand sum of £30. Now, surprisingly, one of the most shocking things that was quite good about this particular purchase was the fact that I think they worked out around £5 each, but the grand sum of like postage savings I made was like £17 or something ridiculous, because each of the postage was obviously like a couple of quid, and that kind of added up over the amount of figures I got. So without further ado, I think I'll go into the box. Just show you the box. There you go. There you go. Opening it up. What have we got inside here today? Some older ones and some newer ones, I must say. So, the newest, actually, I did say in my previous video that I was looking to explore some of the more weird and wacky characters of the Star Wars universe, and I did mention the Film and Sci-Fi Museum in Milton Keynes. This figure, if this was sold there, I think it was in the £200 to £300 mark loose. Obviously that was the older figure. It's Yak Face. Now this is obviously a newer figure, so it's nowhere near that expensive. But look at that guy. Salty Marie, otherwise known as Yak Face with battle staff. Just look at that figure. I believe this is from obviously A New Hope in the Cantina sequence. He's one of the what, a yak-faced guy in the background. Now I will say that like detail-wise, comparatively, I would say that this is a more detailed version of this particular figure, and comparative, the only difference really is the price label. I mean, when it comes to the older ones, they are of course going to be a lot rarer and more sought after than this particular line of Star Wars figures, but nevertheless, I've got a Yak Face, and that's pretty cool. Just say that, I did. It does kind of preview a couple of other characters on the back, like Lando Calrissian, Bib Fortuna, the Emperor, Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise, and Bosk. I think I might have that Bosk figure loose upstairs somewhere, which is quite cool. But yeah, it's a good figure. I like it. It's obviously one of the earlier ones because it doesn't have the freeze frame action slide. I'm not sure. I might have to check that one out actually, as to kind of give a bit of a timeline to these particular figures. But yeah, there's number one. Can I top that? That is the question. Can I top it in this video? I'm not sure, but maybe I can. Another one. A very weird, and oddly, I think it's one of Buzz's favourite like Star Wars aliens. That is Hammerhead, otherwise known as Mowa Nadon, with double-barreled laser cannon. Look at that. Such a weird guy. But again, from the Cantina sequence, he looks pretty darn cool, not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with this one. This one is like the more orange colour scheme. I'm not entirely sure how that like translates as to these particular figures. Might be earlier, might be later. If anyone knows the specifics of that kind of thing, please let me know in the comments. That would be fantastic, and I would love to know. Maybe start a conversation. on the back as well, it does have like almost a tick list for the figures, which is quite nice, and you don't tend to get that nowadays when it comes to action figures and things. And I mean, to be fair, you don't really get too many good action figures other than ones that are made for collectors, if that makes sense. Slight downside to this one is obviously there is a bit of box damage where there was a sticker on this particular box, which is a shame, but considering the price point for the whole collection, I really can't argue. And to be fair, if I could pick one up maybe in another bundle as like a replacement type of thing, I say replacement, I'll probably still keep it, but it does give then the opportunity for me to pass this one particularly on to somebody else, or to sell it on eBay myself. I obviously have got quite a good lot of things from the collection, duplicates physical media wise, and so many other things on my eBay. So if you want to go check out my eBay, link in the description, and see if there's anything that takes your fancy. So 2 figures down, where are we going now? Okay, I'll leave the coolest ones to last. I'll leave the coolest ones till last. Next up, another orange packet. We have a Tusken Raider with I can never pronounce this. Gad Erithi Stick Battle Club. Yeah? Do you remember the Book of Boba Fett when he kind of got one of those? That was pretty cool. Is that the rage now? Are Sand Troopers cool? Are Sand Troopers? Tusken Raiders, or Sand People. They're cool now. They must be. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty good, accurate representation of a Sand Trooper. I've always really liked the depiction of the Power of the Force figures when it comes to the figures themselves, because they do look a lot more movie accurate than the older ones, and some of the newer ones are just a bit too breakable. These ones are designed to be played with, and the detailing on them is precise, and overall they are, in my opinion, some of the best Star Wars figures going, honestly. So I think I really do need to kind of look after these, because at some point, somewhere down the line, I probably am going to look to open some kind of like collectables museum or something. We shall see on that particular front, because that is a long way off. So I better get a few more things to add to the collection first. So, 2 more to go. 2 more to go on this particularly awesome unboxing. Do we want a droid, or do we want everyone's favourite bounty hunter? I think we're going to go for the bounty hunter, because that kind of gave it away, didn't it? It is a wonderful Boba Fett figure. That looks great, doesn't it? Oh, I mean, again, the price point, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Boba Fett with sawn-off blaster rifle and jetpack. Now, I do believe I might have this figure loose, but obviously it hasn't got the accessories and things. But this one is by no means coming out of the box. It is going to just have to stay in here, because it looks so cool. It does look so cool. And again, on the back, it does show some more figures. I must say, out of all the figures, I think the one that looks least like someone is Princess Leia Organa. I do have the figure boxed upstairs, that one. But it kind of looks like a man, not gonna lie. But it's all good fun. On the other ones, they've completely nailed it. And it's quite funny how everyone, other than the droids, looks buffed up in this like beefcake universe of Star Wars, which is really funny. Star Wars is great. Anyway, that was that one. So what could top that? Could it top it? I mean, questionable. Depends on your opinion on Star Wars, to be fair. I think for the fact that this is in box, I think this is the most impressive part of it. It's unique. Well, I say unique. There's probably loads of them, but there's just a significant charm to this particular figure, and that is R2-D2 in box. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, to be fair, to be honest, on behind me on the shelf, that's got to be the same guy, surely. That's the same figure. It's definitely the same figure. It's funny because I've got another one of these actually that was Back in the day when I left one of these under the sofa, it was significantly chewed up by a dog, which was great sad. But now I have a uniquely designed destroyed R2-D2 somewhere around, which is quite funny. But yeah, now I have a boxed one. So if I just put that down for a second, I go back into like the preservation side of these particular figures, because I do think it's important. I did in a previous video show you a like metallic like C3PO with like arms that could come off and things, that was in an acrylic box. Now this is a similar thing. I must like commend like these acrylic like fold out boxes. They really do the job. Now when it comes to preserving these are honestly fantastic. It's the same for my physical media when it comes to steel books and for limited edition collector's sets. These are cracking. They only cost like a couple of quid, and if you get like a bundle of them, then the unit price just drops significantly. I get these off of eBay. I think for the physical media, the one I get is Grail Guard, and they seem to have been absolutely wonderful, 100%, and I can't recommend them enough. But for these, I really do think these are like a happy medium between protecting it and like the graded side of things. Now, it's an odd one, the graded side of things, when it comes to figures and indeed the likes of Pokemon cards and things. I think more so with the figures, it's an odd one, and I'm not entirely sure where I stand on it, because I can understand the reasoning as it obviously the like quality of the figure, loose, boxed, comes to a certain standard at any one time, and then that's given a percentage and sealed in like an acrylic case. I like these in the fact that you can actually open them again and take a look at the figure, should that be what you want to do. However, obviously with the acrylically sealed box ones, that's it. That's basically sealed in carbonite, for want of a better terminology, till the end of time. So yeah, I think for the look, for the style you get with putting things like that in the acrylic cases like that, I think that is much more like cost effective, and it does kind of achieve like a similar purpose, as in to preserve the existing quality of each particular figure. So I hope overall you have enjoyed this video. It's been quite a fun little discussion about lots of bits and pieces to do with the Star Wars franchise and merchandise and figures and stuff. I do have more for you. I would love to share it with you, and I look forward to filming it for you for a future date. If you have anything maybe that you've seen in previous or older Zak Wylde Productions videos, please go check it out. Please tell me what you would like to see in further videos like this, as it's a great discussion, and I do like sharing my collection, be it physical media, collectibles and the like, with you. So if you would like to tell me also what's your collection looking like, do you have any recommendations for things that you think I would enjoy, like to collect, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I can start a back and forth by suggesting some things to you that you might like. Please let me know as well. If there was anything like in this that you would like to add into your collection that you don't have, that you're looking for, that would be absolutely fantastic, and I would love to start a conversation with you. So in the meantime, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next one.